Nothing else came from that, though. So, what are we looking at here? Weapons... Not claws. Does use fangs. I might want to see about making another one of these, though. Not sure if I have better ones to use. Magic. I'm sure... Yeah, I guess you can use either. There's his breath, his flight. Electric terrain doesn't really come up that often, so it's easy enough to drop. You can drop the AoE until we need it. What range is this? 3? Melee skill. Alright. I mean, what more is there to say? He's a dragon. Resistances. Pretty normal, actually. Unsurprisingly weak to fire, and Wind isn't going to do anything to him, but everything else is standard, huh? Do I have better accessories I could make, maybe? I'm starting to reach the point where I might want to see about making, yeah, some of these. Those are all the level 1 ones. Resistance. Is the resistance one the only one that's leveled up to the point where I can make it? Guess I'll just have to wait then. How close are the others? That one's not really anywhere near, but Intelligence 1 is getting there. And that one's done. What is your resistance? It seems pretty bad, actually. So I'll at least make one of these as well, anyway. And... Shield, maybe? It doesn't really... I don't know what I want to do for this. I guess just throw that on and call it a day until we get something better. It seems fine. So what about... I either need another pair of holy things or just a better pair in general. Where are the fangs? Yeah, these are still the best ones I can make, apparently. It's easy enough to make them, I just need to go buy another charm. Oh, and I also still need to do the other things. Pearl Steel and the Bone did... What did the Bone need? White String. Pearl Steel, White String, Sprite Essence. Pearl Steel, White String, Sprite Essence. Those are the 3 things we need to go and track down, then. I have some, like, a bunch of dust or whatever to sell here. Maybe I sold it already. First up, I want to make another pair of these fangs. Hopefully we start seeing better ones soon. Pretty lagging behind most of the other types of weapons, I'd say. Maybe not by much, though. This seems fine. I could also consider maybe instead of the iron wall ring throwing the fire ring on, but... I mean, that would just go from absolutely terrible to slightly less terrible, but still terrible nonetheless, so... Probably best to just give up on that. Let's go report what happened, shall we? Rosanna's scowling even before we finish reporting everything that happened in Calendar.
そうですか。アムレントも似たような状況です。我々が思った以上に相手の動きが早かったようですね。
I see. It appears the same in Amarant as well. They moved more quickly than we expected.
もう一つ。 厳しい知らせがあります。神聖王国が戦争の準備をしているそうです。
There's another piece of bad news. The new Mikelti kingdom appears to be preparing for war. What? Who's their target?
ユイドラでしょう。
Yuidora, clearly.
現状での戦力比は1対6。アムレントとカレンリを仲間に引き入れれば戦えます。
Right now, they outnumber us 6 to 1. If Amarant and Calenry joined us, we'd be able to fight. Santaria is the largest of them, and they alone are probably at least 3 times Yuidora's size. Amareshin in the western coast is also about twice as big as we are. And there's Kotiro too, which is about the same size as Yuidora. If those 3 joined together and Yuidora had to fight by itself, then we'd be vastly outnumbered. On the other hand, Amarant and Calenry haven't officially sided with them yet. If we can win them over as our allies, then we'll at least be able to swing the ratio down to about 3 to 1.
ですが、両方とも神聖王国につけば戦力比は1対8。何よりユイドラは孤立無縁になります。
However, if they both join the enemy, they'll be outnumbered 8 to 1. Yuidora will be isolated and helpless.
最悪の場合、ディスナフロディの参戦もありえます。
In the worst case scenario, Disnefrodi will also join the battle. That would indeed be the worst possibility. If Disnefrodi conspired with the new Mikelti kingdom and attacked together, resistance would be completely pointless. Do you have any plans to stop this? I ask with some faint hope.
今、なすべきことをやるだけです。
I'm doing all that I can right now. We leave her manor wrapped in anxiety about the danger quickly closing in on us. And we'll listen to some more gossip around the town. We'll start here.
あ、ウィル、いらっしゃい。
Ah, Will. Welcome. So, are you doing well?
おかげさまで。
Yep, thanks to you.
交渉会は大変そうだね。最近物騒な話になっているみたいだし。
The guild's in a lot of trouble right now, aren't they? I've heard a lot of disturbing things lately. What do you think as a merchant? Should Yuidora join the new Mikelti kingdom?
上級交渉に対してこういうのはなんだけど、交易が盛んになるならどちらでもというのが本音かな。
I heard a senior alchemist say that it'd help trade, but is that really true?
ユイドラが神聖ミケルティ王国に取り込まれれば、関税も少しは安くなるでしょ。
If Yuidora joins the new Mikelti kingdom, then the customs taxes will be less, right?
このまま緊張が続いて、コテーリル周辺との交易が少なくなると、小麦なんかが値上がりしちゃうから、それが心配。
Trade with Kotiro will drop as tensions stay high, and I'm worried that'll mean the price of grain will go up.
この間からもう値上がりしてるんだよ。
It's already been rising since this started.
でも交渉会のおかげで成り立ってる商売も多いし、お客さんにも交渉は多いから、交渉会が発展していく方がいいし。
But we do a lot of business thanks to the guild. If we want more people to trade with, the guild needs to keep growing.
どっちでもいいっていうか、どちらに転んでも複雑っていうのが本音かな。
I don't know which is best, but it's more complex than people are letting on.
あと、戦争は嫌。それで商売してる人もいるだろうけど、私たちみたいな市民はひどい目に遭うだけだもの。
And I don't want war. Some people can trade well because of it, but us normal citizens suffer.
あ、ごめんなさい。ショーハン様に聞いてもらうような話じゃなかったよね。
Ah, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be telling a master alchemist how to think. Don't worry about it. I'm glad to know your honest opinion. Thank you.
頑張ってね。
Good luck. I'm happy to know how the regular citizens in the city actually feel about this. We upper level alchemists need to be steady right now. Alchemists are talking with severe expressions as I enter the bar. It looks like they're talking about the new Kelti kingdom. I'm against it. Well, even if the brass at the guild are idiots, they're nothing like those guys. That's not what I'm worried about. What if war breaks out? We don't stand a chance. We've got the technology that's the pride of Uedora. That's how we stand against them. When the time comes, the guild will all organize our forces. Don't underestimate how strong alchemists are. And that's fine for us, but there are lots of alchemists that don't fight at all. They're on the same level as a militia. The only thing we can count on them for is numbers. Even if we give it everything we have, there's too big a difference in our forces. There's the problem of supplies, too. Uedora is built on trade. We can't store up very much here. And if you heard that Calenry's turning their back on us too, we could be at the end of our rope. I liked you better when you were laughing. Well, I understand what you're saying, but it's hard to talk about anything but the bad news these days. You have to look at the situation and calmly analyze it, just like you did over and over again for your tests. I'd rather win this war than get promoted. They're completely absorbed in their discussion and don't notice me. It sounds like the rumors about everything the new Kelti kingdom has been up to are spreading quickly. It doesn't look like our alchemists have any desire to join it, but they also know how much worse war could possibly be. Uedora's strength barely measures against the new Kelti kingdom. What's more, we rely on imports from countries like Otira who are now part of the new Kelti kingdom for our food. Rosanna must be struggling to figure out how to deal with this. It's hard to accept, but if they begin to take direct action against us, we're not going to be in a good position. Isn't there something we can do? I've been called to the manor. Rosanna is waiting for me with a dark look.
アムレントから文書が届きました。正式に神聖ミケルティ王国に加盟したそうです。
I've received a report from Amuren. They've officially joined the new Kelti kingdom. Then it's just a matter of time before Calenry does too.
これで一気に情勢が傾くでしょう。
The situation will cascade from here. As she said, Uedora is going to be isolated and helpless. We're outnumbered at least 8 to 1. We have no chance of winning if this turns into a war. Even if we resist and force a siege, there's too great a difference for us to be able to outlast them. Isn't there anything we can do? She thinks very quietly. Her scowl deepens as she agonizes internally over this. She's completely silent, almost like she's forgotten I'm here. Lady Rosanna.
ごめんなさい。この話はまた今度にしましょう。
Forgive me. Let's discuss this another time. If you're tired, please get some rest.
疲れたなどと言っていられません。あなたも頑張ってください。
This is not the time to complain about being tired. Please be sure to work hard as well. Yes, then, excuse me. Will? There you are. Please come here a minute. Emilita rushes in, makes sure there's nobody else around, then pulls on my arm. What's the matter? Mom collapsed. Please, come. Rosanna did? Alright, I'll be right there. I quickly put my work in order and follow her to the manor.
お母さん、大丈夫？
Mom, are you okay? Rosanna stands up from her chair as we walk in.
ここではロサナ様と呼びなさい。
Call me Lady Rosanna here.
寝てなきゃダメでしょ。あんまり無理しないで。
You need to sleep. You can't push yourself so hard.
もう平気です。のんびりはしていられませんから。
I am fine now. This isn't the time to relax. Despite saying that, she sways unsteadily on her feet like she's dizzy.
ほら、やっぱり無理だよ。いいから寝てて。
See? I knew you couldn't. Just get some sleep. I'll call a doctor.
待ちなさい。領主が倒れたと知られれば、神聖王国が攻勢に出ます。
Wait. The kingdom will go on the offensive if it became known that the lord is ill.
領主には責任があります。そうやすやすと放棄はできません。
I have my duties as lord. I cannot abandon them so simply.
お母さん。
Mom. But your condition is going to get in the way of your duties, isn't it?
ウィルフレド将藩、あなたが領主補佐を行ってもらえますか？
Master Wilfred, would you accept the duty of being the Lord's aide? Huh? Me?
事情を知っているのはあなたぐらいですし、あなたには新しいことに挑戦する力も勢いもあります。
You are aware of the situation. You also have the strength and influence to challenge their growing influence.
何より、あなたはいずれ領主になれる器だと思っていました。
And most of all, I was expecting you to become the Lord one day. The Lord? You can't.
あなたにならできます。
You can do it.
ウィル。
Will. Emily grasps my sleeve and begs me with her eyes. I can't do it right away. Leaving my own decision aside, I doubt the other executives in the guild would accept it. Even though I'm the same rank as them, I have nowhere near their experience. I don't have any of their connections either. I don't have the foundations to be able to lead them. Even with Rosanna's recommendation, I couldn't be Lord.
今は補佐だけで構いません。ですが考えておいてください。
I only need you as an assistant for now. Please think about it. I hesitate to answer her. It's hard for me to tell how much of this is a front that she's putting up. But the pain she's in is real. For now, I nod and agree to it. I'll be able to stay close to her, like this, and help her if anything should happen. This will ease Emilita's worries too. I understand. I will accept the job as your aide, and we'll put that other matter off for later.
エルヘンミリッタ、あなたにもお願いするわ。ウィルフレド将藩と一緒に私の手伝いをしてください。
Ellen Melita, I am asking you too. Please help me along with him.
もちろん。
Of course.
経験や知恵については私が補えます。思う通りにやってください。
I'll assist you with my experience and wisdom. Please do what you think best. Yes. When we finish talking, Rosanna relaxes and lets out a painful sigh.
お母さん、本当に大丈夫？
Mom, are you really okay?
ここではロサナ様と呼びなさいと言ったでしょ。あなたもユイドラの代表として動くのだから、しっかりしなさい。
Didn't I tell you not to call me that here? You are representatives of Uedora now. Be firm.
はい、ごめんなさい。
Yes, I'm sorry.
あなたにならできます。私の娘ですからね。
You can do it. You are my daughter.
私、頑張ります。 必ずロサナ様の役に立ってみせます。
Yeah, I'll do my best. I will definitely be helpful to you, Lady Rosanna.
期待しているわ。
I am expecting that. Rosanna smiles as she looks at her. In a few moments, she's recovered enough to be able to walk. We stay until she's caught her breath completely, though. Annalita still looks worried about her, but there's firm determination in her eyes now, too.
私、頑張るよ。お母さんの仕事の手伝いをして、一緒にユイドラと交渉会を守るんだ。
I'm going to work really hard. I'll help my mom with her work, and we'll protect Yuidora and the guild together. Me too. We're practically the faces of the guild now. The Lord's aide, huh? Now that I've accepted the responsibilities, I need to live up to them. Anything new for all this? No? Two men speak while looking out over Santaria. Did you hear? It would seem that the Lord of Yuidora has finally collapsed. It is incredibly unfortunate for Yuidora. Such an unfitting and unsatisfactory end. However, all of their knowledge and technology will now be yours. Do not underestimate Yuidora's alchemists. Even though that beguiling woman's resistance is no longer with them. No, indeed so, just like our future king. A lion uses all its might to hunt even a baby bird fallen from its nest. Pardon me, I was just talking to myself. We fully understand. The last hopes of Yuidora must be crushed. That is to say, you must have the power to rule Mikelti, and that is the same power that you dream of. For that reason, you need the other's blood. The day is already close at hand. You must be looking forward to it. You're done with the events now. Maybe... I guess we're really done with them. Well, with that in mind, what do we need here? Where is the bow? White string, Sprite essence for the other thing, pearl steel. Let's go get the Sprite essence first. That way we can make the outfit and see what new things this has. Wrong place. Yeah, this is where I want. Make this and Annalita will have access to wind elements now, so... Shall we go then?